Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Creative Entrepreneurs Inc. With me, your host, TickleMeWet, and our amazing friend here, Lucas, who is here coming in all the way from Australia. Hi, Lucas. How's it going?
Going well? It's going well.
Awesome, awesome. So, yeah, before we get started, for those of you who do not know me, I'm Sai. I'm a musician and I've been in the arts all my life. I'm a creative entrepreneur and I have been checking out avenues for a long time, which will help fund my dreams and let me be on track to get my show out, to get my music show out. That's what I'm here to do. And yeah, that's what I want to do. So, there have been many opportunities which are lucrative but probably not the right fit for an artist, for a creative person. So in this sea of opportunities that you see online, probably dime a dozen every day, how do you choose the right one as somebody who's a spiritual, creative, or anything on that sort? How do you choose the right one? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And how do you now transfer that and make that into your primary source of income, which lets you get back to being creative, which lets you focus on the most important thing that you're out here, that is to give birth to the thing inside of you, all the creative juices that you're pregnant with all the time. So that's what this is going to be about, and I'm going to be handing it over to Lucas here, who's going to tell us about himself. So Lucas,
Mhm.
what's up? What's happening?
Yeah. Well, I'm here in Australia right now. I'm here from California, and I came all the way out here for an amazing event with the company that we've been working with. And it's an event called Celebrate. They had a VIP party the first night. Got to meet a bunch of really incredible leaders and visionaries who have been just doing incredible things in this business. Got to talk with them, dance with them, and have a good time. And then the next day, um, there was a number of presentations talking about how we can take our businesses to the next level and how we can really take off with them. And then another
Mm.
party, which was also incredible. Um, had all this incredible entertainment and catered food and drinks, and yeah, it was a good time.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, that sounds amazing. So that's what Lucas is telling us is the new business that we are a part of now, that we are affiliated with. So as fellow creative personnels, we have our own issues. Like we have issues with probably other people don't understand, probably don't resonate with, and we're here with unique blueprints on Earth, and how do we how do we stay aligned with that, and still be able to thrive and do well in the 3D realm? So, as creative people, now, what are some of the problems that come up? What are some of the things which a large portion of the creative audience would probably resonate with? Now,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
myself, I do 3D graphics work. I do virtual reality and augmented reality development, and there's often a lot of time pressure, and we come up to a lot of deadlines and a lot of stress in this job. And I would much rather have this be something I do as my passion and not something I need to do to pay the bills, where I then get hit with these stressful crunch times where I'm working 14-hour days or, um, 12 to 14-hour days a lot of the time
Mm.
at the end of a project, where if this wasn't my source of income, I could still create amazing projects, do this, but at my own time and not be restricted by it being, this schedule that's put on by someone else.
So true, right? And yeah, this is pretty much true. Even with people who work in films, I mean, I don't work specifically with film music, but
Mhm.
yeah, when you are working with film, some of the times, really, you get a film score, and all you get is like a month, sometimes even lesser. I'm already already being quite lenient. I have known composers who have literally gotten 10 days to finish a film.
Hmm.
They get the film, and that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Somehow come up with somehow come up with music, somehow come up with ideas, execute them, get them recorded, get them mixed, get them mastered, get them ready. Because you know what, the film is going to be releasing in 2 weeks' time, and there's just no way out around it. You just have to do it. There's just no way around it. Now, in such a crunch situation, just like what Lucas is explaining, how do you be creative? Like the yeah that that part
Creativity.
of you, yeah, which you're connected to, is just completely sometimes gone. Like you just don't feel it at all. Yes, yeah. So what do you have to say, Lucas? What do you feel about this?
Well, when you're in those crunch situations, it just crushes your creativity. You you end up feeling burned out. You don't have the energy to um, create the art that you really want to be creating. You're just getting it
Hmm.
done, and you're not doing your best work, and it also is very draining on your spirit, on your soul. It's just like
Hmm.
this burden, and after you're done, you don't want to do it again.
Yeah, yeah. That's a really terrible feeling. Yeah, because even in music, you have these mixes which you need to generally submit in a day, and by the time you're done with mixing a certain song or a file, it could be a great song. It could, for all you know, it's just an amazing song. But the thing is that the amount of pressure that has been put on you to execute that act within 12 to 14 hours or whatever that is that you're given, you just don't want to hear it again. And that's not the kind of feeling you want to go ahead with, right? With music or art, or yeah, anything for that matter. That's really not what you want to be doing. So a lot of people who work in the industry, who work in anything creative, can totally resonate with this, because this unfortunately is the reality, that there's very little time given unless you're like really up in the hierarchy of things. I don't like to speak of hierarchy, but like, unless you are the primary composer of the film, you still don't get time. You still don't get time. But there are cases when you are like, really good friends with the director, and like you've been discussing the idea with him for a while, so you've probably been chewing on it for a while, so at least you've had your fair share of time to think about it, or at least have some ideas going. But
Mhm.
in most cases you don't. When you're signing up a contract, there's very little time. There's literally nothing left that could be created. So for all these situations is where we have been looking for opportunities. We've been looking for ways in which we can continue to do what we want to do, because hey, we love what we do, but it's just that we just want to do it in a better way, in a way that there's better life work balance, and we can just enjoy it more.
Yeah.
So
The
yeah,
other
so one of the
thing
yeah,
is
you're gone.
that there's a lot of different jobs in the tech industry that have the same sort of crunch times. The other thing is people that have an office job or just some sort of draining work job that they have to do all the time, and they just want to get out of that and into something else that's more creative. Maybe they have a
Hmm.
passion they haven't been able to do all their lives because they're spending all their time at work.
That's true. That's true. Like, for example, like me and Lucas right now, the first part, we were talking about people who are already in the creative, they've already followed their passions, they're already doing it as their job, and they're actually getting paid for what they love. But you have these kind of, issues going on. And the other side, which Lucas is mentioning, are the ones who are in a job which is helping them sustain their lives, which is helping them, build their lives. But they have completely lost touch with what was their passion, what was their initial burst of excitement to go ahead with things. Now how do they make the how do they take the plunge? So there's a fair deal of thinking to be done on both sides, whether you're on this side or that, because it isn't easy. So like they're coming into 2023 now, in a couple of weeks time,
Yeah.
there are just so many different avenues that have come up, because it's just not the same. It's just not the same as what it used to be 5 to 10 years ago. It's just not even the same as what it used to be 2 years ago, right? Like when the pandemic hit and stuff. There's just so many different ways in which you can you can do the exact same thing, but it's just that the way you do it can completely change your work life balance, can completely change your income as well in while doing it. So
Entirely.
yeah, that's what we're here to talk about, this thing that we've joined. And Lucas will go ahead and add a little bit more about it, about how he got in, and just yeah, how does one do this?
Yeah. So I actually got into this business because I met a friend of mine who she started doing the business about 3 years ago. She has taken off. It's completely changed her life. She was living in a car before she started doing this, and now she has a two-bedroom place in the San Francisco Bay Area, one of the most
Whoa.
expensive places to live uh, in the U.S. And she's living on her own, and has this apartment. It's totally changed her life. And I saw what it had done for her, and
Mhm.
thought, why shouldn't I do that too?
Nice,
I
nice.
jumped right in.
Hmm. So, how do you think like you are able to integrate it into what you do every day? Because as you said, you do graphics and you do 3D visualizations, right? Like, how
Yeah.
do you
So
integrate them?
one of the
Mhm.
great things about this business is the amount of time you put in dictates how fast it grows. But you can start slow and do a gradual shift, or you can go all in and make it grow fast. And what I've been doing is I'm still doing the other work
Mhm.
while I build this as a side business, putting in 2 to 4 hours a day at this point. Um,
Mm.
and um, yeah, and then I can start building that business. And then when it gets to a point where I'm ready to switch over, I can make it my full time thing. And
Mm.
it will radically reduce the amount of work I need to do every day. And then I can have other time for my passions.
Hmm. You can probably take up only the 3D projects which you want to take up, not.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Or run
So,
my own projects that I'm leading.
hmm. So this is kind of the not exactly, but quite similar to where I'm coming from as well. Because I mean, I've written enough music which should be good enough to launch a show. But this yeah, the creative streak in me which feels like I could do a little bit more, and I've been pushing to do that, but I have run out of resources, and that has, kind of made me look into other avenues as well, and trying to see that how can I still continue to push towards, launching my own show. How can I still keep doing that? And that is where this business opportunity surfaced, and I was like, I am, yeah, it's probably godsend, but the thing which took a little bit of time for me to jump in was like, how do I now tie this up with what I already do? How do I tie it up inside of my schedule? How do I tie it up with what I what I already love? Because I have no complaints about what I do, because I feel extremely blessed to be able to do music and to do able to do that for a living. But it's just that, as Lucas said, it would be better to not have the pressure of taking up projects because they are the ones that are paying the bills, because it does, yeah, it does color the project a bit. Yeah, it takes a little bit of the nostalgia away, and I do not want that to ever happen to my music. So that's how I kind of got in. And over the last 2 months which I've been in this space, I have come to realize that there's nothing different that I need to do than what I'm already doing. The only thing I need to do is I just need to create a periphery around the core which I already have. And this is probably going to work for 99% of creative entrepreneurs who already know what they're doing and who are, already setting up their own businesses, or they're already setting up their own creative endeavors. They already love what they do. It's just that they just need to rebalance it a little bit. The only thing which has actually happened is the crunch situation, which Lucas is talking about here as well, is only coming in because of the money factor. And the money factor is kind of invading into the creative space. And what it's doing is it's creating a time constraint in which creativity obviously doesn't flourish very well or is not enjoyed best. So all we really are looking at is a certain way to rebalance the energy, to rebalance the money in a place where somebody wants you to be exactly how you are, the creative person, where somebody, and by somebody I mean a company, a marketing agency. It could be a network marketing platform, which wants you because you are unique, because you are going to be the one who's going to be able to talk to all those other very similar, very unique, very peculiar people who are just like you, who do not who do not buy into the regular ads which are being put up because they just don't resonate, because they're nothing like it. So these companies or these agencies or these network marketing platforms, they want you in your totality. They want you to be exactly the way you are. They just want you to affiliate with what they have to offer. And that is where it kind of becomes a win-win situation, because they already have the resources, they already have the funds, they already have the funnel set up, they already have the sales in place, they already have everything already set up.
Not to mention they
They,
have,
yeah, they're just looking for a face, really. They're
yeah,
looking for a face which can resonate to more people who have a similar face like you. That's kind of where it's coming from.
and they've
Yes,
already set up
Lucas.
all the sales and distribution and the product itself. They've developed a product, and means you don't have to do all of that aspect of a business, but you can sell a product where really you're not even doing the sales part of that either with the automation that we have in this platform.
Hmm.
So you just need to be yourself, attract people similar to you, and bring them into this business.
Hmm. Yeah, because as Lucas said, I think he said it perfectly. That's exactly kind of what it is. It's attraction marketing. It's not marketing in the sense where you know you're running after, you're cold messaging people, or you're pestering all your relatives and your friends and asking them to join you or buy from you or something. It's none of that. It's just attraction marketing, that you, the way you are presenting your avatar online, uh, expressing yourself, are talking about your life, are talking about the things that matter to you, are
Yeah,
talking about the steps you're taking towards things that matter to you, and you are basically attracting like-minded people who would like to do the same because they're in a similar crossroads in their lives, or they're in a crossroads which seems at least quite similar to the one that you're in right now. And in a nutshell, that actually is about it. If you'd like to keep it simple, it's probably just that. It's attraction marketing. It's nothing more. It's actually just that.
and
So,
then one
Lucas,
of the
yeah,
things that I've found to be particularly wonderful about the business that we've joined is there's a large focus on the personal development aspect, and
mm,
the working on improving your consistency, working on creating, getting motivated, working on having internal strength and self-worth. And these are things that are key to making this business successful. So they teach you those skills, and they have um, various courses and daily practices and things you can do that um, will improve these things, which are useful for all aspects of your life. Um, and they happen to also be useful for this business. And
mm,
so it meshes very well and creates a reason for you to actually do the work to improve yourself in these ways, while providing the methods and the teachings and the trainings to
mm.
make those changes in your life.
That's very true. That's very true. Like, so when you're talking about personal development, Lucas, like,
Yeah.
how do you now tie this with the 3D work that you already do, the visualization work that you do? Can you like give our audience a holistic picture of where does work, life, and the balance in between fit?
hmm So it's something where with the 3D work that I've done before, um, it hasn't pushed me to make those changes because I just have done the work and struggled through it. But um, but it would be much more in flow if I didn't procrastinate. If I um, if I had that clarity in my self worth and things like that, it would help me in the other aspects of my life and in my work, and just being disciplined with my time and not not getting lost online or spending hours on things that don't matter, and spending my time on either work that is, getting me money, or on things that matter to me, um, and
Hmm.
really um, bringing much more flow into my life. And the one of the aspects of this business is daily gratitudes, which
Hmm.
which are very important. And for some reason, even though it's such a simple thing to do, until you get that into your daily habit, it's very hard to be consistent about it. And
Hmm.
I wasn't being consistent about it. But when I started doing this business, I found that it was something, well, it highlighted it as something that I needed to be doing. And
Hmm.
I started making that change. And it brings, when you have daily gratitudes, giving that energy out into the universe, it's basically the same as, I believe it's Newton's third law, which every force has an equal and opposite reaction. And that
Hmm.
is true about the energy you give out into the universe as well. In order for the universe to provide for you, you must provide gratitude back. When you give that gratitude, the energy of the universe comes, and abundance will flow into your life in many different aspects, your relationships, your money, your just happiness and well being.
That's so true. That's so true. That's excellently said as well. Hmm. My experience with the training, because as Lucas is saying, there's a ton of training available when you do join our business. There's there's training on literally everything, right from setting up your social media to setting it up in a way that is monetizable and easy for people to know what you do. And it doesn't actually stop there. It goes into personal development, it goes into vibe boosters, which I would like to touch upon because it's something I've been doing every day since I've joined this business, which is something which I wasn't doing earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah, like when we're talking about personal development, there's just so much training on this platform that yeah, it opens a whole new door towards I don't want to say door, it's a whole new gateway towards not just making money but also knowing like what to do with it once you have it.
Hmm.
Because yeah, I mean, while you could make a lot of money, not a lot of people actually probably know how to enjoy it best because
I
they
mean,
haven't developed parts of themselves which can be enjoyed in a way that is not demeaning of somebody else, which is not disrespectful of somebody else. Like how many times have we seen money just being exploited by the dominant ego, or having just been exploited in a way of feeling superior to somebody
well,
else.
on that
Hmm.
subject, I mean, it's an extreme example. The people that win the
Hmm.
lottery, it often ruins their lives.
Yeah.
You think it would be this wonderful thing, but they blow through the money and they ruin relationships because they don't know how internally to handle it. Um,
Hmm.
and it just, when they don't, um, and then they don't have, like, they're not ready.
Hmm. That's the financial acumen, right? You don't know yet because you've not kind of figured out what exactly you want to do with it. So that is where the personal development comes in the fact that your cause or your why as to why you do want to be abundant becomes extremely well strengthened. Because when you do know that what are you going to do with the abundance, how are you going to help make people's lives better, how are you going to grow together along with your neighbors and everybody around you, that is when the your mission statement becomes extremely strong. And as Lucas is saying, when you're talking about gratitude, with that in mind, you are kind of attracting you're not just attracting personal abundance, you're attracting a wave which is going to sweep through many people's lives, which is going to change many people's lives at the same time, and you are then riding that wave. And when you're riding such a wave, there's very little space for ego left there. There's a lot of humility or a lot of feeling of gratitude, exactly, that we as fellow humans riding this wave have been given this amazing opportunity, because that's the kind of vibe you're you know getting out of uh, the whole influx of money, if personal development has been done right, has been done in a way that is, beneficial for everybody.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I would say that for me, one of the other things that attracted me to this business, part of my why, uh, was just being able to, as I said before, free myself from that need to work for money. Whereas I would rather have something I do a little bit of time each day, and then have the rest of my time to pursue my creative passions, and those can make money as well, but they're not my, if they aren't my primary daily job, then I could be much more creative with them and not be stuck in this place. Plus, this business
Hmm.
is something that um, has the potential to make large amounts of money, more than most other businesses out there, and so
Hmm.
it will give me the opportunity to have a much more free lifestyle, traveling around, and just give me that time freedom, financial freedom, and then there's also a health aspect to the business as well. Um,
Hmm.
and
It's true.
it's just
Hmm.
a, which is both the a personal development health, but also the product itself has health benefits.
Hmm. That's very true. That's very true. And yeah, speaking about the business that we were a part of, we are a part of something which, on a larger scale, fits under the bracket of what you would call as network marketing, what you would call as affiliate marketing. And in our specific cases, it has become attraction marketing, where, yeah, you are not the one selling, but people who are like minded and who love your vibe are actually coming towards you. So, before we start to compare this with, how it could probably be uh, replacing your job, it'll be a good idea to maybe go through a few slides about
Mhm.
seeing how this market is doing in general, right? Like in comparison to the other things which we're very, very, very familiar with. So yeah, Luca's going to pull out a few slides and we're just going to go through them.
Yeah, so um, we'll have one slide here that you can bring up,
Hmm.
and this be up in a second. So here are a collection
Yeah.
of billion-dollar industries in the world, and
Hmm.
network marketing um, has been skyrocketing to be one of the largest industries. The
Mm.
Just the amount of, well, it's just become a very sensible way for businesses to do um, marketing, and
Mm.
it's really taking off. It has created the most women millionaires of any business.
Yeah, yeah, that is yeah, that's a very notable point that a lot of
Mhm.
us miss. Now, even when you're looking at these, yeah, yeah, I think Lucas has two more slides, right? Like I think he has one more.
We just have
Is that
this
right?
one.
We just have this one. Yeah, no worries. So when we are looking at network marketing, just one of the points which Lucas just mentioned is that businesses see this as a great avenue for marketing. Now, before we get into anything, you need to see both sides, right? You need to see like how is it benefiting the person who is going to be, so-called paying you. Now, how is this benefiting the business owners? It's benefiting them in the way that no product or no business is ever going to cater to everybody. They're always going to have their niche. They're always in any marketing strategy or any person that you do put on front of the camera who's going to be, part of an advertisement campaign. Just by being the way he or she is, they have already defined a category. They have already, defined a set of parameters of other like-minded people who would resonate with that. So in this fashion, it's almost impossible for them to cover cover half of the planet. It's just not possible. They're constantly just catering to a certain stereotype, or catering to a certain they're just catering to a certain style of people, or a certain part of the audience. What this kind of approach, especially for creatives, it's especially relevant for creatives, because what is the one thing about creative people? They are here to educate and entertain the rest of the world. That probably stays true throughout all creative fields, right? It doesn't matter whether it's art, it's music, it's theater, whatever it is that you're doing. You are in a way educating, enhancing people's lives, and also entertaining people. So you are naturally in front of the camera. You are naturally there in a way that people consume from you. So now it makes complete sense to just have an affiliation with you, to just have something which is like tagged on with you, which is tagged on to your image, which is tagged on to who you are. And that happens to, that happens to attract like-minded people who see you, who follow you, who love you. And that's probably the most organic way of marketing anything, right? And what it does is it gives so much diversity, because every creative is every creative person is different, and his audience is different, her aura is different. And this allows for these companies to be able to tap onto an extremely large market, which otherwise they would have not been able to. Otherwise, with their budgets and their ad strategies, it's just not possible to cater to everyone. So that is kind of how the creative element comes in into network marketing, because I think it's a little bit difficult for a lot of people to imagine how network marketing could, work in tandem with, any creative person. And this is kind of how it's all falling in place.
Yeah, and then the other thing I'd like to say is, for a lot of people spend a lot of time on social media, and they're spending that time without any real substantial benefit to themselves. While with a business like this, you can make money from that social media, and so you're spending time on there making money, as opposed to just using up your time that um, that you could be doing something else. So now, the thing that you may regularly do, you can make money doing it, and then you have your time for other things.
Just a second, sorry, my phone's just running out of charge a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah, I just making sure it's connected. Yeah, that's it. It's connected. Yeah. So so that's kind of how how this business that we're a part of is working with the creative aspect of ourselves. That's how things are, getting tied up together. So we will be diving more deeper into what the product is that we're affiliated with, and about a lot more about the compensation plans, about how you can scale, and about how you see a credible future for yourself within this platform. We'll be doing all of this in the upcoming episodes. But just to wrap this up, this is what it's about. It's a great avenue for all the creative entrepreneurs out there to be able to have something working for themselves, which also works as a way of propagating their regular creative business, and it helps pay the bills. And to be honest, it's not a lot of work. It's as we put up, it's probably a good 2 to 4 hours of dedicated work a day. That's already quite a bit, and should be well on track to be able to replace or at least replace a substantial part of your income in the
I would
beginning.
say that it can replace your entire income, not immediately, but fairly quickly.
Over time.
Yeah.
Any other closing thoughts, Lucas, on this one?
No, I don't think so.
That's about it. Awesome. So so we'll be joining you soon with the second installation of this series, and that's where we'll be diving into the other aspects of the business and explaining a little bit more about that. So thanks for tuning in, and yeah, if you're interested in what we're presenting here, feel free to send us a personal message, and yeah, we'll get in touch with you. If you like what you see here, do check out our personal pages, do check out our content, and yeah, send us some love. We'd love to know what you think about us as well, and it really does help the algorithm as well going on. So, so on that note, yeah, we'll be closing, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and we'll be back soon. Okay,
Oh,
bye.
wonderful.